And this here is the Gamma Ergo. It's pretty much become my main clipper that I grab. Like, not just because they sponsor me, but I mean, look at this thing. It's just mowing this hair down. And this is wolfing territory. He ain't got a haircut in a couple months. At least what, 2? Something like that.
Yeah.
And it just feasted on his hair. So another thing that I like to do, I'll mist the top and then I comb it against the grain. And it might be a little hard to see it on camera, but y'all can see there's a couple little hairs that just stick right up. And those ones you can go back through, kind of leading the clipper with the comb and picking up. You can hear them getting cut too. All right, so once that's all pretty good, I'm not really concerned about this bottom area because that's gonna be for my detachable. And I'm gonna run a number 2 detachable on that. Put in the work and it just disappears. You see how much hair this thing could just go right through. I mean, there's no reason why, if you're a barber, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a detachable. You really need to put this in your arsenal. It's costing you money to not have one. You might not realize that yet, but once you start to pick up your business, you start to try to get more people in, this is one of the easiest ways to save time. A lot of you guys always comment about how much time it takes you to do these fades. Look, you gotta get the easy stuff done fast. So you can see, I'm not wasting any time here with this. And if I tried to put my skin line in with his hair as long as it was, no way on earth. There's no way on earth that it would have came out how I wanted it. So I need to get all that out of my way so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm sure that you guys would know that normally I do clipper over comb for this, but I actually won't today because I'll just show you guys how to do it without it. So blending a 2 to a 4, actually gonna be pretty easy. Next, I'm gonna put my 5-0 on. And I'm gonna put in my skin line. I'm gonna go up right to about the corner of his lineup. He don't wear a lineup, so he prefers it blended out, but we're gonna knock that out. And damn, look at his eyebrows. Hold up, we're gonna fix them up too. So again, some people will put their line in with their trimmers. That's a waste of time. I don't ever do that. Jump from one side to the other and we'll finish putting it in this line. But of course, if you don't have a 5-0 or a detachable, just go ahead and grab your trimmers and put your trimmer line in. The cool thing about once you have all your gear set up to work with each other, it just makes the whole process go smoother, faster, easier. So like at this point, I'm kind of checking to see how even my line is around, and now it's kind of when I want to make sure that I have it all nice and even and about the same area, but don't have to be perfect, but you just want to make sure it's about the same on both sides. So I'll point them towards the mirror, kind of check it out, looking good. And now is when I'll actually come in with my trimmer. I really like to finish this whole step up. I don't like to have to go back to it. So I've got my Gamma Absolute Hitter here, and just in those areas that are kind of hard to get to for the clipper, I'm gonna come in and just clean up any little hairs that I might have missed, and these things will do a great job. So usually just around the ear. I don't concentrate too hard around the ear with the detachables. So now that I got them nice and close, everything is done. Time to hit them with the electric shaver. Notice that everything I did was fast. Anybody could do these steps so far. I haven't blended anything in. I haven't done anything complicated until now. Now, this might be a little complicated. I'm stretching the skin and I'm flipping it out. That's it. So if I show you this on like a front view, I'm stretching the skin. Once I get close to that line, I'm flipping it out. I'm flipping it out. And these are the Braun Series 9. These things, they just beast. They just beast quickly through the hair, and they do fade very easy. It's a real easy electric shaver to fade with. So if you look at all this extra, space, I can just fly through this, push as hard as you want, try not to upset the client's skin, and just kind of lift up a little bit when you get close to the top of this line. Just lighten the way that you touch them, and you'll be in good shape. So the motion's kind of like this, like a woo! We had some fun with it. So this video here, I intended it to be more like a walkthrough where I could just kind of give you all the thoughts in my mind while I'm cutting, opposed to just voicing over later and trying to remember what the heck I was thinking to tell you. But the truth is, I've been cutting hair for so long that I really don't think about hair cutting anymore when I cut hair. It's kind of weird. Sort of like I just go on autopilot. My hands kind of know what to do, and they just kind of do it. I'm free to kind of think about anything while I cut hair. I don't really even think about cutting hair hardly ever. All right, so there's a couple ways that I could attack this. I could just get into the skin line, but before I do, I just want to make sure that I'm happy with the blend that I got from skin to the 5-0 line. So I'm looking around, and now I like to use like this edge of the blade, kind of come down with it, move around with it. And if you have to, I don't have to in this case because it's pretty good, but if you have to, go back to a trimmer that you got set real tight and see if you can pick up any of that hair. But make sure that this step is done. Make sure that this step is done before you move on. And this step is not always necessary. 90% of the time for me, in the way that I have my unit set up, it's never necessary really. All right. So what I think is wise, one thing I really like to do is I like to just make sure that the top, that top line is blended before I even get into the skin line. So I have a 3, I did a 4 on top. I'm gonna open the 3, and I'm just gonna go until you hear it cut. Hear it cut, that's good. Do it on both sides, all the way around the top of the crown. That's cool. You can take it up pretty high. It's not gonna hurt your 4 on top. Now I'm gonna close it down all the way, one step, not even taking clicks yet. And take it all the way up. The next step, because I use my detachable number 2, it's a little bit longer if I put this one on, so I got this one in the open position. I'm just gonna rock over top of the parietal ridge and get whatever hair I can. I just hate seeing like incomplete steps, so it's kind of the reason why I like to do it like this. I would prefer to just take care of the way that it's blending into the top so that it looks real good. So now, another like important kind of thing, I get down on the eye level, I want to check it out, make sure it's all looking pretty even, and of course, use your mirror. Now, in this little room that I'm cutting in, I almost got like a little bit of an advantage here because I have 2 mirrors and I can kind of see pretty good out of both of them. And this is my little YouTube studio at the shop, which I actually rented out and I haven't been using for YouTube at all, ever. So this is one of the few cuts I've filmed in here. So I don't even have the lights set up the way I normally would like them. All right, you guys, you know I love to do the half attack. So with the Gamma, I find that they cut so close that when I put the half on, I like to open it just 1 click. This is so it doesn't chew the guard, and it'll work. So check out what it does. Nice light wrist. You can hear it cutting. Nice light wrist, but I'm always maintaining contact on the scalp. A lot of you guys move off the scalp too much. And you see his grain pattern? All right, if I put the comb sort of right on the grain pattern, that's the angle of attack I want to take. I want to take that angle and make sure that I'm staying against the grain. Now, you ain't gonna do nothing perfect in this step. This step is just to set your parameters. And with a half arm in the closed position, it's just about the same length that I would get if I took this half guard off and I just put the clipper in the open position, which just means the lever's all the way open and the guard is off, okay? So again, back down to 1 click closed, and this is important. Right here, his grain don't go straight down, it comes off here, right? So I wanna follow that grain pattern. And you could push pretty hard on the clipper. See, I'm using just the corner. I could slide my whole finger underneath this blade. You can push pretty hard on the blade down here towards your 5-0 line, but as you get up to the top, you're sort of rocking the heel of that clipper. You're beginning to blend into those other lengths, and you're knocking it out. So once this step is complete, I want to look again. This is another one of those checkpoints. I'm using my mirror, but you need to make sure that however thick you decided to make this weight line, you need to make sure that it's the same on both sides of the head before you move on, all right? So next step, we're gonna make sure that we blend this bottom line out. And the way that I like to do that, especially with the clicks, with the gamma ergo, with the clicks, I'm gonna put this in the open position, and I'm going to just begin going over it until I hear it make some noise. I hear it making a little bit of noise. I'm using the corners to help push into the head and lift hair into that clipper. I have not moved the lever yet. Many of you guys asked me to do a video telling you about every lever move. Well, I guess today you're gonna get that wish. So these lever moves are gonna start to happen, but soon I wanna make sure that I've done everything I can at this length. I'm all the way up to pretty much close to the top where I went with that half guard, and now I'm gonna click it one time, 1 click. Hear it cutting? Once you hear it cutting, you know you're hitting that spot. Make sure you're holding it flat, you're applying a good pressure, and you're getting the most out of each step. And as you can see, I only went 1 click and that line's already starting to dissipate. 1 more click. We're gonna try to stay just underneath where we went. You guys have seen my whiteboard where I've explained this many times, and if anybody's still struggling with this, click it 1 more time. If anybody's still struggling with this, please refer to my lives. We get really in depth and in detail about these steps, and if you are still struggling, you find yourself in need of a little bit of extra help, head there to the lives, man. Shoot me a question, I'll try to answer it for you, try to help you out. All right, so as you can see, while stretching the skin, his line is pretty well dissipated, and I didn't even go all the way down to the bottom length. Last click, right here. Now I'm gonna reduce the stretching. This is something that a lot of people don't tell you during their tutorials, but as you can see, I'm trying to not stretch too much, because you could stretch this out, right? Just do the nicest fade, and then the minute you let it go, it snaps right back into place. You don't want that to happen. Jump right over to the other side, and we'll knock this out. Open taper, same steps, all right? Only thing that's gonna change is, remember, his grain pattern's a little different over here. But as long as I chip away with the corner of the blade directly into that grain pattern, I'm actually going to get more hair, and I'm gonna get his hair to look better without as many steps. So once we got that, you see that with the open taper, that's a lot, that's actually a lot cleaner than you would get. One click, but that's all I was saying is just literally with just the open taper, look at how much impact it had on the line. It's already starting to make it look pretty good. Next click. Just using that corner now. Next click. Next click, all the way down. Let's decide I want to finish this area out. Let's open it all the way back up. And let's start to connect this to the back here. All the way up. And we're going to begin the clicking one at a time. Just using that corner. Click it. Keep it on an angle. Keep running that crisscross pattern. That crisscross helps you pick up more hair. So as you can see, I keep working it all the way back and forth across my section. I just skipped 2 clicks. All right, now we're gonna go all the way down. Last click. Let it eat, baby. Let it eat. Go up till you hear some noise. All right, that looks really good. Now, I'm gonna connect it to the back, but now I'm gonna stop stretching his hair, and I'm just gonna run my steps all the way open one more time. 1 click. 1 click. 1 click, and you know what? This is just an easy, quick way to kind of trace back over your steps, make sure you got everything good, and knock it out. All right, so he's starting to look pretty good. Like I said, the light in this room is a little funny. I usually use a light that shoots directly out. You guys know I'm the light man too. I should go get it real quick. It's sitting in my bug out bag. So, all right, same process, working my way down 1 step at a time, 1 click at a time, until I'm all the way done. All right, so that looks nice and smooth. Everything's cool. Let's go on to our next step. All right, so the next step is going to be the number 1. And we're pretty much going to repeat the same steps that we just did, except for it's going to be easier because at this length, you can hide your mistakes a lot better. They're not backlit by the brightness of the scalp, and it's going to show, everything's going to show good. So that's all that happened with it open. I'm going to begin closing it. I usually go like 2 steps at a time now because, like I said, it's not going to make as many mistakes. And close it a little bit more. All right, closing it all the way. And you're gonna see some residual here, right? Still a little dark spot. That's cool, that's what we want. Remember, we skipped the half guard practically. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna get that. Got that open taper going, and I got the number 1 on, and we're gonna hit this other side. I'm not trying to play no games, I wanna get this done. So I'm trying to take big sections and make sure that I get all of that hair cut while I'm at it. It's still in the open position. I haven't began clicking it down, but now I'm about to. 1 click. All right, couple clicks. Let it eat, man. Let it eat. Let it feel. Go up till you hear some hair. Let it cut. All right, all the way down. I like what I'm seeing. Everything about the cut is exactly how it should be. I'll throw it to the back section now. Same thing, open it up, hit the back section. It's funny how many times you gotta go over this hair, man, to get it to look good. I think a lot of people see me going over a spot like once, or a lot of people think that they just gotta go over a spot like once. Like, hair's tricky, man. It don't always get cut the first pass. Sometimes it hides on you. It takes a lot of trips around the head to really get that blend smooth. You know, and some of you guys are creating some unrealistic expectations of your haircuts because you see people who have really heavily photoshopped work on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and you measure yourself up against that, and you know, it's not right. It's not healthy. I mean, that's not real trench work. This is real trench work. Like, we actually are barbers. We don't do this celebrity stuff. Like, we do this every day, day in and day out, and this needs to get done fast, efficient, and good quality. So now let's return. Let's get rid of this weight. We skipped the half, so now it's time to go back to the half. Got the half in the open position, and I'm going to begin going up. Let it eat. Let it eat. Let it hear. Let's hear it cut. I'm gonna click it down 1. I hear it cutting. All right, I'm gonna click it down 1. Stay a little bit lower. All right, Just kind of using the corners, taking my big passes, crisscrossing all the way through. Another click. Now here's when you're gonna get to the good stuff. Right here is where it's gonna start to, your work is gonna start to show off. All the way down. All the way down, and it's looking good. All right, blend's looking pretty good on that side. We got a little bit of work to do at the top, but we're in good shape. Jump over to the other side. Same thing, up against that grain. Push this thing up till you hear it eat. All right, next click. It's kind of almost like you would use an eraser on a piece of paper with a pencil. You just kind of keep going over it over again, and you see that line start to dissipate. And as that line starts to dissipate, eventually you almost make it disappear altogether by going all the way down with that last click. And you should really start to be liking what you're seeing. I like what I'm seeing now. Just get me want to throw a design up in his hair real quick, like. So, all right, I'm gonna go to the back, retrace these steps, up, one click. One click, we're going down. All right, almost done. All right, all the way down. All right, so his blend, you wanna make sure that his blend is looking good right now. If it ain't, you need to go back a step, okay? But if he's looking good, we're gonna keep on going forward and put the 1 1/2 on, and this is gonna meet that number 2 length. I got it in the open position. You guys remember how we started it? We did the 3 and we did the 2 on the top. All right, I'm gonna click this down a few. Go up, let it eat, let it cut. And this is gonna be that last piece to the puzzle. You see how smooth that blend's looking? It's looking real good. And we're getting there. So same thing across the back. Now the colic area, we're gonna talk about that in a second. But this is the move right here. Couple clicks, keep it on an angle, let it cut something. You know, even though your haircut looks done and it looks good, finish all your step work, man, and let it cut something, because you're gonna be surprised at the effect that might have. It might wind up making it look perfect, and at worst, it just won't cut nothing. So, you know, right now, you should really like how the work is looking. And now we got to talk about this colic, man, because I'm looking at it in the mirror and I'm seeing all kind of stuff I don't like. I don't like that, right? So we're going to take that out. I'm going to start with the number 3, retrace my steps back here. I'll be going all the way open at the very top, and I'm going to come directly against the grain on that nasty colic area, because this is what throws off a lot of your guys' cuts, is you don't do this little step here. All right, I came with it open, now I'm going to come with it closed. With it closed, it should start to look a little better with the 3. And if for some reason it doesn't look well enough with the 3, we'll drop down to the 2. So that made it look a lot better, but I think we still need to do a little bit more work. And I'm gonna come across here, try to stay against the grain. And I'm using my mirror, and I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing. I'm gonna start with it open again, come down and against that grain. And I'm going to close it a little bit. All right. I'm liking how that's looking. I know that I can fix the rest with some thinning shears, and I'm going to go get my light. Give me a second. All right, you guys, I got my trusty light, my little station light. This is my travel light. I'm actually going to just set this up on the counter here, and I'm gonna get a lot better of a view about how good my haircut is. So you guys can kind of see that the blend is actually looking really smooth. It looks really good. And it would have been hard to tell, because look at it, without the light, with the light. So it's a whole different story when you get your light and you get your lighting right. I hope this is a good example to you guys to see that. And let's hit his edge up now. Now I got my gamma, my absolute hitters, and we're gonna get this edge on point. I'm gonna knock it out because it's looking kind of frumpy. So With his hair, it really don't matter too much. I'm just going to try to clean his corners up a little bit, but I don't push him back like crazy. And then the end, I'm actually gonna put a little bit of gel, kind of spike the front up. That looks nice on him. So I just want to get rid of all these little hairs that are kind of not really cooperating. That way, if he chooses not to do his hair, hope that don't hit the... Ooh! That was a good save, Jonathan. Oh, this one ain't closed, that's why. Woo!
Let me get my stuff while you're...
What the fuck is with that? All right, this better look anyways. We almost dropped the camera, y'all. Thankfully, he had the reflexes of a cat and the speed of a mongoose. And he snatched that thing. Good save, buddy. Well, he's looking a damn sight better than when you walked in. Look at you over here looking at yourself. I caught you. I caught you checking yourself out. What do you need, buddy?
Oh,
The gloves are coming back here. All right. See this unibrow that he's got here. I'm gonna start in the middle, chop this up a little bit here, but you guys ready for the move? This is the move. The reverse backhand for this side of the eyebrow. That's a clutch move right there. Makes it super easy to get that tough to reach spot because I can't get the razor in there to hit his eye, right? So on this side it's real easy because I'm right-handed. I ain't left-handed, so I ain't finna man up and do that. But now, you know, it was easy for me to just clean that little spot. So again, I'll just show you the example. The move is right here. It's actually a really easy way to cut your non-dominant side. So other than that, I ain't gonna make him look like too girly. I just wanted him to be a little less bushy. Wouldn't be playing musical chairs because now I'm gonna be done with you. He's in my station, I'm in yours. What's up, buddy?
This is like the suite right here, right?
Yeah, but I'm not cutting back here. I'm gonna cut you up front.
The VIP?
Yeah, only good customers get this treatment. So you're excluded.
I'll be right outside.
Cool, buddy.
All right?
Cool. All right, so I'm happy with what he's got going on, but I want to give him a little extra flair before we go. And I'd like to try something with the Gamma Absolute Hitter, just to show you guys this thing is a beast. It hits, it does, and I want you guys to be able to see it. Wish I had a place to hold my light. But I'll tell you what, I'll light this afterwards. I'll light this afterwards. Y'all can just see it after it's done. And if anybody's interested in that light, you already know. Woo, look at all that crazy colors. All right, so if anybody's interested in that light, trying to get that smoke, want to check that light out and do some cool stuff with it, I got the link in the description. Yes, the light's expensive. It's like $120, but it's worth every penny. Shit, by the time you get set up, Jimmy, look at this thing just eating the hair. And for those of you guys who keep asking me about the ceramic blade, there's not many in existence. Soon, I'm told that it's going to become an option. But just so you know, if you guys choose to buy the Gamma without the ceramic blade, they put a new blade on this. And I think I'm one of the first few people with it. And it has a new and improved blade. And I mean, come on, man, what more could you want? Look at this thing. It's just tearing hair. It just tears hair right off the head, no problem. I love the lines that this thing makes. And, you know, I'm really actually a big fan of everything that Gamma's doing right now. You guys can check them out on Instagram, and you can see person after person putting in work with these. And they really do work nice. So All right, this is what I always try to do with my designs too. Like I like to put the line in kind of on the thinner side, and then I'll go back and I'll kind of thicken it up because it gives me a little bit of movement. Go back and just kind of broaden that line a tiny bit in the areas you feel like it's gonna make your art better. And the other thing I wanted to ask you guys before I send you guys off, I was gonna ask you guys what new skill are you coming out of quarantine with? So personally, one of the skills that I worked really hard on during this quarantine and whatever little free time I had, obviously I've been editing a lot of videos. You guys see I've been dropping videos like crazy, but I'm actually working pretty hard on learning how to animate graphics and title screens and stuff like that. It's something that I always wanted to learn, and finally I actually took the steps to do the learning. But what do y'all think, man? You guys let me know what you think. Oh wait, hold up. If I ask you what you think before I put the light on it, you guys would probably be talking junk in the comment section. So hold up, we're gonna put this cool light on it. I'm not even gonna shave it. I'm not even gonna shave it. Why irritate the skin? That's close enough, man. Look at that thing. You gonna tell me that thing don't put in some work? All right, and the last thing you want is your client to walk out before your cut is done. So a step that I do to kind of ensure my own quality control is I do my last once-over. Listen, you guys, do your once-overs before you hand your client the mirror. Don't hand your client the mirror and be like, oh shoot, I kind of see something I messed up, and go in there and try to fix it. Do your once-overs before you hand your client the mirror. Make sure the cut's perfect before you do that, and knock out any little hairs, whatever. Try to clean them up nice. Give him a good service, one that he can't get from somewhere else. That's going to keep your clients coming back happy, and I think there's a good chance many of us are going to have to raise our prices soon to be able to pay for all this extra stuff and extend our appointments and make our cleaning efforts. And so, you know, you need to give them something special, something that's going to differentiate you from the rest. Okay, and that very last step that I promised you guys, I was going to clean this up in the very back in his crown. I just have my thinning shears. Shear Police, you guys already know, Shear Police is already hooking me up. If you guys use my code Eddie for any Shear Police shears, you'll get 10% off your order. And that's actually a pretty good savings with them. And you guys are gonna love the way that they work. So I'm actually really excited to get my next pair. I have a pair coming. But as you guys can see, that minimized the issues in the crown. Crowns are never gonna be perfect. We down here in the trenches. I hope you guys like this walkthrough. This is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'll see you guys in another video. I'm out, peace.
Wait a minute, before you guys go, I wanna invite you to hit that bell, hit subscribe, and stick around because we're gonna go live all the time. It's far more interactive, it's a lot more intuitive, you'll learn a lot more, and we'll go through this video and many others as we continue to grow. We build off each lesson from the last week, so don't miss out on that opportunity. It's free, it's fun, and we're gonna have a good time and a lot of guests, and we do giveaways. So I encourage you guys, hit subscribe. Other than that, man, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Peace.